At 75, Kurt Russell shares the truth about Val Kilmer. You think you know someone because you've watched them on screen for 40 years. Then the people who actually knew them start talking. And suddenly the story becomes very different. When news of Val Kilmer's passing spread across Hollywood, countless celebrities shared memories. But one tribute caught my attention more than most. It came from Kurt Russell. Not because it was dramatic, not because it was filled with Hollywood cliches, but because it felt personal. And honestly, that's what surprised me. For decades, Val Kilmer carried a reputation that followed him everywhere. Brilliant, unpredictable, difficult, mysterious. Depending on who was telling the story, he was either a genius or a headache, sometimes both. Yet when Kurt Russell spoke about him, he painted a picture that didn't quite match the headlines people had been reading for years. To understand why that matters, you have to go back, way back, long before Top Gun, long before Batman, 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 long before Batman. He was a prodigy. At just 17 years old, he became one of the youngest students ever accepted into the prestigious Juilliard drama program. Think about that for a second. Most teenagers are figuring out who they are. Val was already studying among elite performers. People who knew him back then described someone intensely focused, competitive, incredibly intelligent, sometimes intimidating. He didn't just want to act. He wanted to master it. And that drive became obvious when his career exploded during the 1980s. First came comedy roles, then came action, then came superstardom. Suddenly Val Kilmer was everywhere. One minute he was making audiences laugh. The next he was stealing scenes from some of the biggest stars in the world. But fame did something strange to him. Or maybe it simply revealed who he already was. Val refused to play the Hollywood game. He challenged directors, questioned scripts, argued over creative decisions. He pushed people. A lot of people didn't appreciate that. And that's where the reputation started. The difficult actor, the perfectionist, the guy who wouldn't just say yes. Years later, many people would reduce Val Kilmer to those stories. But Kurt Russell saw something else. Their paths crossed during one of the most iconic films ever made, Top Gun. Looking back now, it's almost impossible to imagine how many future legends were packed into that movie. Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards, Tom Skerritt, and a young generation of actors about to become household names. Val played Tom Iceman Kazansky. Confident. Cool? Unshakable. The perfect rival to Maverick. What's funny is that many fans assumed Kilmer loved the role immediately. Not true. In fact, he reportedly wasn't enthusiastic about the project at first.